Hey, welcome back to another Morphogen product breakdown. So I really wanted to get this one done relatively soon because this product just dropped recently, and that is the new, or I should say updated formulation of Morphicom. If you guys have seen any of the new products, a couple things you're probably going to notice. Obviously, the one being the labels, which are really sweet. They have these little holographic type of, you can see that in there. Pretty cool. Also are textured, which is really neat. I really like how they're not too busy, but they have a really modern look. Yeah, pretty slick. On here, like I always like to do, I like to go over what's in the product, give you a little breakdown, dosages, what everything does, application perhaps, etc. So one thing you'll notice on this version is it is now a 3 capsule product. There's a few reasons for that. It was 4, at least if you were taking a full serving, it was 4, and now it's 3. So one of the things with that is some changes in the extracts that are used. There's some higher yield extracts that are a little more concentrated that require less overall milligrams of, of powder, right, to be put in the capsule, and slight change in the ingredient profile and a few things. The DIM was taken out. Keep an eye out for that one. Maybe go into something else. Can't say. But that was out. Rearranged a couple things. Changed some extracts. Added some things. So there are differences, but overall, it's it's probably an improved formulation for what its intention is. Let's go over first off what is in the product, and then we will talk through what everything does. Talk through each ingredient. So starting at the top, phosphatidylserine, which was in the old product, still high dose. We're looking at 600 milligrams. Neuroprotective, really helps with cognitive function. This is going to be one of your main cortisol modulating ingredients in the product. Okay. Pretty difficult to find any product that carries this high of a dose. It's a very expensive ingredient. This remains from the last one, which also had a high dose, but you get 600 milligrams of phosphatidylserine in the 3 capsule dose. Really important ingredient in the product. Next one is Korean red ginseng extract, A few things, this obviously being an herb, there are different types of processing methods, and there are going to be different yields with every herb. That's what you're going to have. There's going to be bioactive compound that you want out of it. Some herbs have more than one thing in them. They may have several bioactives that are really useful for different purposes. Now, in this product, we're getting 300 milligrams total of a 7% extract. And normally the extract's a lot lower. Extract, we're talking like a third of that, if not less. So again, another stress reduction ingredient, another cognitive protective ingredient, another fatigue reducing ingredient, shown to perhaps help with cognitive decline. Pretty cool. You're getting this 300 milligram dose is actually what's shown to be effective in the lower yield extracts, the lower percentage yield extracts. So you're actually getting a higher percentage yield extract with the same type of milligram dosing. So it's going to be pretty potent. Next product, L-theanine or theanine, or however you want to say it, going to help with inhibitory neurotransmitter activity. So it is a calming ingredient. Not sedative in the sense that it's going to make you feel super sleepy, but definitely helps you feel less edgy. In anyone that has stress, anxiety, things of that nature, you use the stimulants, so on and so forth. This is going to be an ingredient that smooths all of those effects out. Now, obviously, if you have a ton of anxiety and you're pounding a bunch of stimulants, probably part of the problem. But in any case, this is going to be an ingredient that is really going to help there. You're going to see dosages in products anywhere from 100 to 200 milligrams, roughly, depending on the product, especially if you're buying it like as a single ingredient. We have 300 milligrams in here, which is what you probably consider a top dose of this ingredient, especially if you plan to take all 3 capsules in one dose. It's probably about the top dose that you're going to want. So pretty relaxing ingredient, not a sedative. Really complements the stress reduction and smoothing out of everything. Next, rhodiola extract. So this is Rodeo Prime. It's another trademarked ingredient in here. And again, I am still brushing up on some of the dosages and of the new ingredients, so bear with me. 200 milligrams. Again, high yield extract. Pretty cool thing about this herb is it can help combat the stress accumulation from exercise-induced stress and non-exercise induced stress. Is kind of, so it's just helping all the time, because some ingredients do seem to work really well in an exercise induced stress environment, because again, we're getting different types of nervous system stimulations, one being acute versus chronic, and etc. So neuroprotective ingredient shown to perhaps help with longevity, and that's probably more so because of the neuroprotection aspect. 200 milligrams in the product, great ingredient for overall stress or ability to handle stress. We are going to move on to an ashwagandha extract. This is Shodan, and I could be pronouncing that wrong. Again, another trademarked ingredient. Currently, to date, this is the highest yield extract that you can get. It is a 35% of the glycosides that you're looking for in the product. A lot of the other ones are much, much lower, sometimes in single percentages, but this is a really, really, really high yield. Helps with cortisol modulation, helps with overall stress response, much like the rhodiola does, helps with just being able to handle stress. Shown to perhaps increase testosterone and modulate hormones in compromised individuals, which, is relevant for a lot of people that are perhaps needing this type of product, right? So pretty cool. That is a change. That's actually a different extract. So, that brings us down to 120 milligrams instead of, 300 milligrams or 600 milligrams even that we might need of like a KSM 66, which again is a really great extract, but there's just a lot higher yield, KSM 66 or the other starting with an S. It's escaping me now. I will think of it later, but I'll think of it probably as soon as I get done with the video. Sensoril, yeah. Every extract seems to have a little bit different properties. The KSM 66 being a more overall, whereas the Sensoril seems to be a little bit better in terms of sleep and stress reduction at night. This is going to fall kind of in the middle again, which is, really what we want. Next up, Kanna. So we have two more ingredients, Kanna being one of them. Kanna has a slight SSRI or serotonin selective reuptake inhibitor type of property. It's not obviously going to be on the level of like taking a prescription like Zoloft or something like that, but nonetheless will help with boosting serotonin levels, which are going to be compromised in a lot of people that are, again, needing this product. Serotonin being generally considered a inhibitory neurotransmitter, a calming neurotransmitter, a happiness neurochemical. Can be a little bit elating in some people that are really, really deficient, but in general, it's going to be more on the inhibitory side than on the excitatory side. So Kanna here, 50 milligrams, doesn't take a lot as long as you have the right yield. So 50 milligrams in here, not sedative, not probably going to make you feel as tired or as something like 5-HTP in terms of serotonin production. So, keep that in mind depending on how you like to take the product and how you like to use the product. Last ingredient is lithium. So elemental lithium, this is going to be lithium orotate, not lithium carbonate, which lithium carbonate is the form that you'll see in mood stabilizing medications for psychiatric disorders, not this. Carbonate has a lot of side effects, accumulates in the tissues, not necessarily a very friendly medication, not something that, we are obviously going to want to take, but nonetheless, this elemental lithium is well tolerated in low dosages, and we actually need this ingredient. It's, it is an element that we need. However, it is pretty scarce in food, pretty difficult to get. We do not need much though. So there's actually only 5 milligrams in here. So you get a lot of the mood stabilizing effects. Some people say it helps them with sleep, which is probably more so an indirect effect of like calming them down. But in any case, definitely a nice addition to the product. Also helps with some B vitamin uptake activity, especially B12. So pretty cool secondary effects there as well. But yeah, that is the new Morphicom. Pretty cool bottles. You're going to see these popping up. You can see these new labels. There's a bunch of them coming out. So you recognize you will not recognize some of the products, but they will have a new look. But that is the new product. Check out the site. everything, a lot of this information you can find on the site too. A little bit different breakdown than I did, but there is a breakdown. So check it out. Talk to you guys next time.